Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Giacomo Iobizzi. I'm the Deputy Secretary General of the Thailand Chamber of Commerce. And today I have the pleasure to announce our TICC webinar, How Lifestyle Hotels Are Making a Difference. Today with us, we have a guest speaker, Mr. Milad Badri. He's the Vice President, Operations Standard Asia. Please allow me to give you more information about his bio. Okay, Mr. Milad Badri, Head of Operation for the Standard Growth and Expansion Pipeline in Asia and Middle East. The Standard is a design and experience-driven global lifestyle brand and a pioneer in the boutique hotel space. The brand's cultural programming and content leverage its unique position at the intersection of art, music, food, activism, and beyond, acting as the main liaison between the corporate quarter and regional properties, representing the brand in interaction with property management owners and investors. Previously held a position at BAMR, is the group of Rosewood, Hyatt, SLS, SB, the Mondrian Hotel, Chumenen Group, and Innovation Lab, Copenhagen. With more than 15 years of global brand marketing, culture, and operations. About Standard International. Standard International Management is a company behind the Standard Hotel, Bangkok Hotel, and the Perry Hotels with offices in New York, London, Austin, and Bangkok. The company has more than 16 hotel and food and beverage properties open with more to come. Standard International is on the forefront of immersive experience creation and its properties and technology-driven innovation in the industry, including its spontaneous booking application One Night. One more thing about the Standard Hotels, created in 1999. The Standard Hotels are known for their taste-making clientele, their pioneering design, and their unrelenting unstandardness. With 7 hotels in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, most recently London and the Maldives, and the upcoming The Standard Wahin, and the Asia flagship The Standard Bangkok Mahanakhon, slate to open in early 2022. The goal of every Standard project, be it a hotel, a rooftop discotheque, or a magazine, is to defy convention up to the stakes and deliver an experience that can only be held at the Standard. The Standard riverine and playful sensibility, combined with a careful consideration of design, detail, and service, have established its reputation as a pioneer of hospitality, travel, dining, nightlife, and beyond. Sunsiri, Thailand's leading real estate developer, made its first investment into Standard International in late November 2017, which increased over time, making Sunsiri the majority stakeholder. Okay, said so. Now I will leave the virtual stage to Mr. Milad. Thank you, Milad. I pass you the microphone right now. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Giacomo. Excited to be here. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick so you can see the presentation.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, it's working.
All right, let's kick it off. So first and foremost, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this presentation about the Standard Hotels, our global expansion, and specifically our anticipated entry into the Thai market. Let me give you a quick overview of what we will be covering today. To start things off, it's hard to discuss anything in our industry right now without touching on the first subject of the pandemic. So we will talk a little bit about operating in the pandemic environments, managing through that crisis, and even go as far as making a case for optimism towards the future. And then we'll deep dive into the brand portfolio, the culture, the experience, and finally we'll have a deeper look at the upcoming openings in Thailand in particular, to give you an idea of what we're looking to deliver and achieve in this market. Needless to say, COVID-19 has been nothing short of a devastating situation for the hospitality industry as a whole, and hotels and hotel brands have genuinely been struggling to keep their doors open. And this has especially certainly been a challenge for the smaller independent brands. But despite the challenges, we've actually done more than survived, and we remained optimistic about the future of our industry. And let's dive into that a little bit. During this period, actually our total portfolio managed to exceed the budgeted year-to-date top-line expectations, but by over 20%. And we also have a market share right now of 134 RGI in 2021. And all in all, we truly attribute this to the strength of the brand, the unwavering support from our shareholders, and frankly, the team's hard work during this pandemic. Obviously, the US portfolio is leading the charge, given an effective vaccine rollout, a large domestic market, and fairly lax travel restrictions at this stage. Though we've seen from both Standard London and Standard Maldives quite encouraging trends over the last 3 months, although these markets have limited domestic demand, unlike the US, and are more impacted by the various travel bans and restrictions. But it should be clear, the challenges, they remain and continue, something that we're all very well aware of here in Thailand. The Delta variant, the various travel restrictions are very real challenges that are impacting our business and continue to make it very difficult to do accurate forecasting. But we've seen leisure travel rebound, which gives us optimism. It tells us that travel is not dead, and the fact that people want to travel. Business travel, however, has not rebounded as well as quickly. To give you an idea and some stats, pre-pandemic, our business travel equated to about 25% business versus 75% leisure. Today, it's about 8% business and 92% leisure. So we're not seeing business travel come back yet. Companies are struggling to figure out back to office protocol and back to travel protocol. The truth is that we've been forced to apply an unprecedented level of flexibility and agility throughout this time. And throughout this period, we've kept two key areas of focus. One has been to maintain profitability, and secondly, to continue to grow. And in terms of, we're going to start on the profitability end. We've actually applied, much like everyone else in the business, we've applied rigorous cost discipline, but we also applied a relentless guest experience focus and a push towards direct contribution through our own channels. And in terms of growth, we've actually added on to the global pipeline quite significantly over the past year. And between the brands under the umbrella, we now have 17 hotels and on the path to 35 hotels globally. Obviously, we also have exceptionally solid shareholders like Sansiri here in Thailand. And with their support, we're not only maintaining our portfolio and our staff, we're in fact increasing our market share of new projects. And truth is this, that certain sectors have almost permanently been transformed by the pandemic. We kind of put them in the bottom left box here, which we call the danger zone, with industries that are kind of deemed easy to switch, such as retail versus e-commerce, movie theaters versus content streaming, etc. Where arguably the experience is better remote. There's obviously a lot happening in terms of crypto, NFTs, but we will leave that for a whole different discussion. But I want to hone in on the top right box, because this is our space. And this is where we sit, essentially. And these are things that we see as absolutely better in real life and not really viable remotely. And I'll give you a couple examples. Leisure travel, coming to Thailand, experiencing the cuisine, the people, the beach, the spa, the wellness, the culture. You can't really substitute that through Zoom, can you? Meeting and events, there's some people that are somewhat more skeptical towards this than we are, but we've seen some great data recently that points towards recovery. During the recent summer months, Our meeting and events business actually exceeded 2019 results as restrictions were reduced. And the second example is really the biggest convention market in the US, Las Vegas. And Vegas is back again and results above pre-pandemic levels. Likewise, nightlife, food and beverage, spa, wellness. These are really experiences that can't really be replicated remotely. They're simply better in real life. And just by the virtue of that fact, we remain optimistic about the future. I'm not sure if you've read Credit Suisse recent Thailand tourism sector report that was released yesterday. And the report states a decent recovery. Decent, you can interpret that as you like. And despite the fact that they've actually cut their expectations in terms of international tourist arrivals, 2022 still marks the turning point and a significant turnaround from 2020 and 21. And the 2022 expectations in terms of number of arrivals compared to 2019 currently sits in this estimation around 35% of 2019. And 90% come 2023, and with the improved vaccination rate, and plus 100% come 2024. With that, let me dive into our brand a little bit. We call ourselves the most powerful brand in the boutique hotel business. And before I elaborate, let me show you a video that should give you an idea why. Hope you enjoyed that. I do. About our portfolio, you'll see right here that we're not a big brand, but we're definitely a powerful brand with exceptional brand equity in my mind. We're in the top markets in the US, 2 hotels in LA, 2 in New York, 1 in Miami. In 2019, we opened our first international property in London, a beautiful hotel that has won a plethora of awards and accolades, an opening that we are truly, truly proud of. Maldives, our first property in Asia, on the most stunning island. All in all, we have roughly 1,300 rooms across the portfolio, 28 food and beverage outlets, over 1,500 employees, and we're looking to quadruple the footprint in the next 5 years. And actually 80% of that growth is projected to be outside of the US. diving into our culture and our pillars, our key pillars. This is how really our brand's unique and vibrant culture comes alive. I think you saw a good sample of it from this video. But the key pillars are really design, art, fashion, music, culinary, and music and nightlife. And our intent is truly to bring these key pillars to Thailand, aiming to make Bangkok and Hua Hin, and also for the global traveler. On these pillars a little bit. In terms of art, we believe that art gives meaning to our spaces, that it engages our guests in unique ways. So we bring it to the forefront. Our most recent project in Hua Hin features an artist, and there was a little snippet in that video. I'm not sure if you caught it, but that was when Rostar is an artist that has been close to our brand for quite a few years. And in the video there, he was actually painting the top of Leban at the rooftop in Highline, New York. And we actually flew him out here from Bali. He graciously did 2 weeks of ASQ. And he's currently, as we speak, he's painting our pool deck in his signature pattern in Hua Hin. And it's something that we're really excited to reveal very soon. And the reason I'm bringing this forward is because it's an example of how we merge art and design and how we bring it to the forefront of the guest experience. When it comes to fashion, truly we see fashion as one of the highest forms of self-expression. And you will see us do a lot of activations and programming around fashion, whether it's hosting shows for emerging talent during New York and London Fashion Week, or it's collaborating with global talents on retail collections or hotel amenities. Every year we host the official Met Gala after party at the renowned Boom Boom Room at the Standard Highline in New York. On the culinary end, and when it comes to eating and drinking at the Standard, it's really designed and engineered to a full social sensory experience. This is, in my mind, where all the magic happens and the brand comes alive. Sometimes I refer to this as alchemy, with the people and the team and the music, the food, the drinks, the artists, that feeling of a special night. That's where everything comes together. And we've been quite successful in establishing ourselves in this given space in key cities like London and New York, across multiple outlets. And that's what we want to bring to Thailand. And in particular at our Bangkok property, you will note that we're coming at it with the same kind of intent and focus. When it comes to music, obviously music is something that brings people together. Our long-lived romance with music is based just on that. And besides music being specifically curated across all our spaces, we also love being a platform for both established artists and up-and-coming talent. Just recently, we opened up Pride Week in New York with a show and performance by Madonna, and it really became known as the reopening of New York that specific night. Moving over to the experience, I think what we want to highlight here when it comes to the experience, that we're constantly aiming to reinvent the experience with activations, engaging installations, pop-ups, collaborations, and drawing not only hotel guests from around the world, but also the local community in the given neighborhood we're in. This could mean throwing a block party with Gwen Stefani and in collaboration with Samsung, or launching a summer pool experience on top of one of our hotels that actually has no pool. We call this activation No Pool. This is to give you an idea of the unconventional and creative approach that we're willing to take. And I know Giacomo was asking me before, what's up with your logo? Why is it upside down? Point is that it's intentional, and we're willing to experiment and take risks. And this is what you will see at both Bangkok and Hua Hin as well. We will have a series of activations, pop-up events, standard sounds, audition nights, etc., etc. And we'll collaborate with the creatives within the locations, both locally and internationally, to bring these things to life. Diving into our upcoming openings, and let's kick it off with the flagship. This is a standard Bangkok Mahanakorn. I'm sure all of you are very well aware of this building, you know of it. And this is, as I mentioned, our Asia flagship. It's in partnership with King Power Group, something we're very excited about. Its location, I didn't need to talk about too much, but you know, it's located between Siloam and Sathorn CBD. And in our mind, it's a perfect situation for guests to explore the best of Bangkok. It has 155 keys ranging from 40 square meters to a lavish 144 square meter penthouse, a beautiful terrace pool, state-of-the-art fitness center. We're really excited about this fitness center we're building here. Dynamic meeting rooms, and a curated selection of world-class bars, restaurants, and nightlife venues. And we're really drawing from the successful flagships in New York and London, with iconic architecture, obviously, and really immersive experiences from bottom to top of the building. And the reason we're doing this is that we frankly believe that Bangkok might just be one of the most vibrant cities in the world, at least under normal conditions, and on many levels: people, culture, culinary, creativity, style, and energy that never really rests. And we want to bring to Bangkok a hotel that finally lives up to the vibrancy of the city, and giving locals and visitors a taste of our culture and a constantly evolving interactive space that really highlights the pillars of our brand. Diving into design a little bit. Design is something we take really seriously at the Standard, but it's a different kind of design. It's fresh, it's dynamic. We're not luxury in the traditional sense. It's not about the expense of the materials, the crystal, marble, etc. It's about designing spaces that simply feel good. We've done this project, and it's been designed by acclaimed Spanish designer Jaime Heyon, in collaboration, obviously, with our in-house design team. I think it's worth mentioning that Jaime is not only a designer, but also an artist, a creator, and was handpicked for this specific reason. Objective of the design was to create a fresh, dynamic environment that is full of energy, yet in a way timeless in its sophistication. So with unconventional style, modern elegance, effortlessness, and a relaxed approach, we want to create ultimately a place where you want to come back again and again. Moving on to the guest rooms. Here are some visuals to give you an idea and feel for the room and the design. As mentioned, we have 155 guest rooms in 9 different type of categories to fit your needs. Moving on to the restaurants and bars. The hotel's culinary program, all in all, includes a couple of key things. First off, I want to talk about the Standard Grill. It's a new take on an American brasserie, all rooted in New York City, originating from our flagship in the New York Meatpacking District. It's really a place for power lunches and dinners, but it's also a place to just hang out with friends. It's not formal, but it's refined, but it's also a highly social experience. Mod 32, we're very excited to bring Mod 32 to Bangkok at our hotel. I'm sure many of you know of it. It's not our concept, obviously, but it's one of the most celebrated award-winning restaurants with a highly loyal following out of Hong Kong. We love what they do, and we're very proud to bring forward that modern approach to Chinese cuisine to Bangkok. The parlor parlor is bright, it's fresh, it's airy, it's a fun space to socialize, relax, come in, listen to a lecture or some live music with your friends. We want you to hang out here. You're welcome whether you're a guest or not. I mean, a hotel guest or not. And it's really a dynamic social hub where music, art, culture, and dining comes together and connecting people through a series of unique and creative programming and events. Standard sounds we mentioned before, workshops, and much more. The tea room, lastly, it's actually quite adjacent to the parlor. We think of it as almost like a jewel box, a kind of unexpected fantasy land. And when people walk into this space, we expect them to pull up their cell phones and take a lot of pictures. It's playful, it's sophisticated still, and you'll have a scrumptious classic American savories in there, an endless boozy tea list, and a not so ordinary high tea experience that will, we're quite sure will turn your head. Actually, last but not least, Ojo. This is a refined Mexican cuisine right on the 76th floor, offering a truly sky-high dining experience. And it's our rooftop restaurant and bar. And really at that 76th floor, it marks the highest dining and drinking destination in Thailand. And we will be serving modern Mexican cuisine by one of Latin America's up-and-coming chefs that we're very excited about, Chef Francisco Ruano. And this will also lead to the 78th floor for a full sky-high experience. Obviously, meeting rooms. We got 4 flexible meeting rooms and function venues. We can accommodate up to 140 guests, latest state-of-the-art teleconferencing systems, etc. A lot of daylight, beautiful space for any kind of meeting and event. That wraps up Bangkok, and I'll step into Standard Hua Hin. This will be our first entry into the Thai market come December this year. And you know, everyone knows about Hua Hin. It's a favorite weekend escape for Bangkonians. We believe have been waiting for exactly what the Standard promises to offer. It's a stylish and vibrant beachfront resort, unlike anything else you can see in the market, to be frank. Has that clean, modernist American architecture reminiscent of our properties in Hollywood and Miami. And actually the experience here is inspired by our first waterfront property, the Standard Spa in Miami Beach. And we usually say it's just what you need and no more. It's a special place that you can both escape and find opportunities for new experiences. It's relaxed, it's unassuming, it's never pretentious, always fun. And we're very thankful to our partner Sansiri. They've done a fantastic job developing this project on time, on budget, with a beautiful aesthetic and quality. Very much in line with what they've become known for in the market here over the last decades. And the hotel is nestled in a lush garden with native flora and greenery right on the beach, steps from the ocean. And it's a colorful collection of 199 rooms, suites, and villas, complemented by the innovative Standard Spa program, but also paired with a lively and vibrant pool scene. We have a variety of drinking and flavorful dining options. The hotel will also feature a surf club for water sports and a selection of fun activities on the beach. In terms of design, it's been designed by Studio Freehand and Shelly Kwok in collaboration with our Standard in-house design team. I think the visuals speak for themselves. It's a place where you come relax, you won't want to leave. You can see that the design here represents the brand well, but also incorporates a lot of local influences. In fact, our brand has always blended that playfulness and an unconventional approach with local culture, art, history, just to create something that's new and different. And we think this project stays true to that promise by bringing a different kind of resort to the destination, bringing that modernity, the vibe, the atmosphere and experiences that we're known for. And also about the outdoor spaces, we really celebrate the natural landscape. And once you come and visit, you'll note that we've kept much of that local vegetation. The original large trees on the site in particular have been maintained and really incorporated into the physical experience of the space. Rooms we talked about, and I think the visuals here gives you a bit more in terms of giving a feeling and an understanding of what we're trying to do here. Diving in a bit more into the restaurants and bars. As you arrive, the first thing you will see adjacent to the lobby is our juice cafe at the bottom right box there. We'll offer you refreshing drinks, cold pressed juices, freshly brewed coffee and tea. Or you can either sit and sip that in the garden, or you can grab it and go. Lido is our main Italian dining spot, serving up locally sourced seafood, delicious pastas, and we're going for the championship of the best pizzas in Hua Hin. All of this curated and paired with craft cocktails and a pristine wine list, as we do. And the experience here is casual, vibrant, and created to become, or geared towards becoming a Hua Hin favorite. By the poolside, we have no visuals for this now, but we also have Lido Bar, which is essentially the pool bar. And we'll serve a menu of refreshing cocktails and frosés. You'll also have American-style poolside bites and light Thai dishes, all while you swim, sun, and lounge around. Prasa, this is for us genuinely the jewel in the crown. Actually, when we came to this site, we found that there was a heritage house, sort of a summer pavilion that belonged to a former owner of the land, and turned out to be one of the nobles from the royal family. And instead of demolishing this house, we did what we could to maintain and restore it and repurpose it essentially. And the concept we built here is a Thai izakaya by the beach. This is where you're going to see the days melt seamlessly into nights, right on the beach in front of that panoramic seascape. And you'll be able to enjoy authentic Thai bites and refreshing cocktails here. Quick note on meeting rooms. We've got one meeting room here with a lot of flexibility for any type of small and medium-sized meetings, gatherings, team buildings, and so forth. It actually is directly connected to an outdoor courtyard that can be utilized for functions and so forth. Area square size is about 114. That concludes the deep dive on Hua Hin. Here you can see some of our upcoming destinations, and I will dive into 3 of them a little bit more. First off, Singapore. We are incredibly proud to be entering Singapore market. Those of you that are in the industry will know that it's a very difficult market to get into. It's a stunning building in a lush setting. We'll have an active pool scene, 140 keys in this oasis, just off the active Orchard Road. Other one to dive into is Melbourne. This is our first entry into Australia. One of the best creative and cool neighborhoods in Australia, Fitzroy. We think it's a great fit for our brand. We believe that there's quite a few more opportunities in Australia for projects, and we're really glad to kick off in Melbourne first in 2023. And last one to highlight is Ibiza. We just signed this one. Will open in summer 2022. I would say watch this space and expect for this to become a true Europe hotspot this summer already. More than anything, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I would like to also welcome you to the hotels as soon as we open, and I look forward to greeting you in both Hua Hin and Bangkok in person And with that, happy to take any questions.
Okay, wonderful presentation, Milad. You really made me want to travel and explore more about your structures. I see also amazing choice of capital city around the world. It's wonderful to know a group like yours that is so active, bringing new design, and it's very nice. Coming back to boutique hotels, maybe would you like to give us a bit of information about the meaning of this word? What is a boutique hotel? This is a question that actually I asked you before, but I find it so interesting also for our audience that I'm here to ask you again. The definition of boutique hotel and the definition of the standard as a boutique hotel.
I mean, I think boutique by definition in the industry is often determined by key count. Okay. So normally we would say, like, if you are 100, less than 100, up to 150 sometimes, you're in a position to call yourself a boutique hotel. Okay. Normally when you go higher in the key counts and you step into, let's say, 300-400 rooms and keys in general, you can't really maintain that same level of experience that you want to deliver in a boutique setting. So usually it's connected to that. Obviously, boutique hotels have also been often connected to the term lifestyle, which is obviously a broad term and could mean so many things for so many people. But often it is something that is very much design-led. Like, boutique hotels also tend to focus on design and curated experiences. I think that's how I would describe it the best.
Okay, wonderful. And before you were showing a slide, and I note down this sentence that really was really very nice. We are exiting the crisis stronger than we entered it. With these words, how would you describe the pandemic and we saw the plan for the future? Would you like to tell us a bit more about the strategies that you will apply here in Thailand?
That will be applied here in Thailand?
Yes.
Of course. So it's a broad question, obviously, what you're asking, but I would say we will follow the same approach. You know, frankly, what the items that I was highlighting and bringing forward are the same measures and approach that we have been applying across the brand. What we have seen that a lot of that has given fruit now, where in the US, primarily, as the restrictions have been lightening up and the market and the demand has been building up again. So that's essentially the message that we're trying to convey, is that this have been our approach. We have been focused on profitability, on cost control. We've been focusing on our own channels. The same measures that we have applied across the brand is something that we bring to Thailand as well, and have been brought already. And profitability, as I mentioned, was one, and the second end, it's all about continuing to focus on growth. And you know, the current climate is certainly challenging, but it's also a time of opportunities out there.
Okay, that's very good to know. Maybe another question that I am used to ask to our speakers and our guests is, you know, now a very hot topic is the consumption in terms of pollution. Is your hotel also taking care about, I don't know, maybe footprint of emissions, CO2 emission, or are you adopting any solution also in terms of recycling or using, I don't know, renewable energy and so far and so forth?
Sure. It's interesting that you bring this forward, because you know, sustainability as a whole has been one of our key projects as of recently. And for we know that for our partner in Thailand, our main shareholder, we know that sustainability and the environment matters. So everything that we've done, we also have the Peri hotels that we have in collaboration with Sansiri. And for those hotels, you will note that, recycling, composting, all these solar energies and so forth are things that we have included. But we're also on the verge of rolling out a whole new sustainability program across the brand. So certainly it's something that is on top of mind for us, and it's something that cannot be ignored in our industry, right? So it's definitely a key focus.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, I don't know if anyone from the audience would like to take the chance to ask directly to Mr. Milad any question. So if you want, you can either share your question in the group chat or open your microphone and speak.
Yes,
so let's wait.
I see a question there that says, which area in Hua Hin?
Okay, please take this question.
If you guys know where the chocolate factory is, we're right next to chocolate factory, and in between chocolate factory and the Sintara, right on that beach.
Does
that help?
Okay. I'm very curious.
Not far off the main walking street. Not far off.
Okay.
Sorry?
I was very curious also about the gourmet offer. You were mentioning an Italian restaurant. You were mentioning also here in Bangkok the Spanish restaurant with the tallest view of Bangkok, right?
Yeah.
And also, of course, for the locals, if they are looking for Thai food, you also have Thai restaurants.
For sure, certainly.
Okay, we look forward also to try your Italian restaurant. I see here a question from Kunjana Boon. The luxury hospitality offer is going to change in the post-pandemic, or the luxury customer will be joint offers in the same way?
I'm trying to digest this question. The luxury hospitality offer is going to change in the post-pandemic, or the luxury consumers will be joint offers in the same way? I guess the first question I can tackle, if I think the luxury hospitality offering is going to change. But I actually do believe that these spaces are going to merge and already have in many ways. Especially when you talk about luxury. The definition of luxury has been evolving over the last 10 years quite dramatically, and I would actually say ever since the financial crisis, the focus around luxury and luxury consumption has been continuously changing. For us, we're not afraid at all to go both high and low, right? We could go very highbrow with something that might be considered super luxurious, and combine that with something that is more lowbrow and less luxurious, and that's part of the creative approach that we take. We wouldn't mind serving a hot dog with champagne, for example.
Okay, and meanwhile, someone texts me privately. Maybe they reply to me without putting everyone in the group chat. So, very simple, the question is about NFT and the transition of hotel using cryptocurrency in the future. So I don't know if it's something that the startup.
Could you repeat that?
Yes. So someone texted me and was asking me what about the cryptocurrency in as a way of paying your overnight or when you stay at your structure?
Oh, it's an interesting question. It's interesting because we see it happening in the market already, right? We heard that Thailand's tourism authority of Thailand is thinking about releasing some kind of
Yes.
coin and so forth. So it's definitely something that we are keeping a close eye on, and we do believe that that will become reality, and we also want to make sure that we're prepared accordingly for it.
And just to recap, is the standard open right now, or you will be open, as you mentioned before, in 2022
yeah,
and Bangkok?
Exactly. So the Hua Hin project opens 1st of December. So
okay.
If you're interested, you can already go in and book, and we'd be happy to greet you. And the Bangkok property opens next year.
Next year, you know already more or less the period, or
yeah, we're targeting Q2 right now for the
yes. So waiting for the opening, no quarantine, etc. Okay, that's clear. We can wait to see and be a guest of your event.
Of course, we'd be happy to welcome you.
Okay, wonderful. We have some more minutes. I don't know if there are the last questions. Okay.
Yes. New Year party in Hua Hin. Yes. There will be a New Year party in Hua Hin.
Yes, someone is planning the
yeah, I like it.
a nice party.
We will go out to market very soon with what our offering is. You'll be able to find it on our website. I'm not going to spend time outlining what's happening, but certainly there will be a selection of dining options and most likely some interesting entertainment.
Okay, it's very interesting. Maybe another pool party without the pool.
Oh, here we have a pool.
Okay, yeah.
Is it challenging to open hotel next year during pandemic? Yes, it's definitely challenging, and it's something that we are continuously keeping a close eye on. We think when it comes to Hua Hin, I think it's a viable model because obviously there's a percentage of the market that is international in Hua Hin, but it's overarchingly domestic. So from that point of view, it's also the market that has kind of performed the best over the recent period in terms of demand and occupancy. Now, what we will most likely do over the coming period, and it's already, it's hard to say what kind of restrictions that will be applied, but with the current way we are progressing, we are remaining optimistic, but also at the same time, we're remaining very conscious in our approach to make sure that we can maintain profitability and bring forward the experience that the hotels deserve to have.
Okay, that's clear. We have time maybe for one more question before closing. Okay. Do you have a kids club in Hua Hin?
Good question. Actually,
maybe also regarding family.
What was that?
Also regarding family, if you can provide more information, is your hotel family friendly or friendly?
Yeah, I can expand on that a little bit. First question, in terms of do we have a kids club in Hua Hin? No, we don't have a formal kids club. That wouldn't be our approach at the end of the day. Does that mean that we are not welcoming kids? No, we welcome kids. And the way we approach it is to make sure that there are a series of activities and programming for kids to take part in. But we don't normally do the traditional kids club approach. And that's something that I would say goes across the positioning as a whole. We know that Hua Hin is a family market, and thereby we welcome families. But we do also want to bring something new to Hua Hin, something exciting and something fun, right? And in terms of the family positioning, it is true that it's not necessarily our brand's core, but we do believe that there's a lot of people that are interested in what we do, that they are attracted by the offering that we have, and they have kids, myself included.
Wonderful. Let's see if there is one last question from the group before closing this very interesting conversation with Milad Badri from the Standard Hotel, Bangkok, and very soon also Wahin. Let's see. Okay. Okay,
all
maybe
good?
all good. Milad, thank you very much on behalf of the Thailand Chamber of Commerce for having participated in this webinar series regarding hospitality. It was a very interesting discovery from all of us to know about your uniqueness and to know about the group that actually has something original to propose and to offer to a bigger audience. We look forward to coming and visit you in Hua Hin and Bangkok, and also we would like to invite you to join our future activities and to come to meet us in person in the office when you're free. I also would like to thank all the participants that have joined today our webinar, and for the future people that will see and watch it from our YouTube channel. You can find this episode recorded and uploaded on YouTube in 2 or 3 days. I would like to thank also Kunsenni and Milad. If you would like to say something as a conclusion, the stage is yours.
Okay. I want to thank you all again. Thank you for the opportunity, Giacomo and the Italian Chamber of Commerce. We appreciate the opportunity to speak here, and thank you all for listening. And come see us. More than anything, come see us. All right?
Well, thank you very much, Milad. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good day. Bye-bye.